Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Pull Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright? Now look, so for this one, I'm gonna be telling y'all about this guy, Jarvis Buzz. How about that? Now, some of y'all might not know who he is. A lot of y'all probably do, right? I ain't gonna do no reaction video or none of that shit, to this situation. Why is that, Mr. Roll Up? I'm not into all of that. With his situation, what he into? He into messing with little kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into that, so I don't really cover them type of stories. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't my thing. Now, it's only one reason why I am speaking on this situation now. This situation been going on for what, about 2 years now or some shit, and they finally convicted him, sentenced him, sent him to prison, right? Well, with that being said, he killed himself in quarantine. And this is why I'm gonna speak on it. Because I was there at that same quarantine jail that he killed himself at. Alright? So let's get into it. Jarvis Butts. So let's rewind the clock, right? Y'all know I freestyle everything, right? So back in the day, I'm gonna say probably like early to mid 2000s, right? This guy, he went to prison for a situation like what he didn't kill himself in prison for now. He had a situation like this back in the day, right? He went to prison for messing with little kids, right? He did his time, came on. With that being said, whenever you doing something sexual and you get convicted for it, you automatically got to register as a sex offender when you finally get out. Meaning that everybody in your community, all of that, they can look you up and they can see that you is a sex offender. So basically, it's like alert to keep their kids away from you, shit like that, right? So everybody in the community knew that Jarvis Butts was a sexual offender. You know what I'm saying? Did nobody take no action against him or nothing. They let him live his life. He did what he did, right? Okay. That's kind of like what most sexual offenders are. That's in your community. It's like, okay, just stay away from him. You know what I'm saying? Well, with that being said, he back out here on his shit. He the light-skinned, pretty boy type nigga. So, it ain't hard for him to come across women, right? So with all that being said, he ended up meeting this woman. This woman had a younger daughter, Naziah Harris, right? That's her daughter. That's the daughter. Jarvis Buzz get with this woman to get close to her daughter, Naziah Harris, right? He did that, boom. He get close to her. Now he is molesting Naziah. Naziah 12, 13 years old. Jarvis is a grown man, you know what I'm saying? So now he messing with Naziah, which is the girlfriend's daughter. He messing with her now, right? Mind you, everybody know that this guy is an offender and all of that shit, right? But they welcome him back into the community, I guess. And the girl that he was with, she knew that he was an offender, but she swept that shit under the rug, right? So now Jarvis then crept up on her daughter, Naziah, right? So now he molesting her. While he molesting Naziah, they going back and forth. Text messages. Y'all know how this phone shit work. You put anything on your phone, it ain't going nowhere. They could pull it up at any given time, all of it. You could delete it out your iCloud, all type of shit. They can pull it up. It's technology. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he texting her. She texting him. They back and forth talking about meeting up and, doing sexual favors and things like that, right? So they got all this in the message thread. Like, it ain't no denying it, right? So next thing you know, she get pregnant. 13 years old. She pregnant by Jarvis Butts. She texts him and tell him, hey, I think I'm pregnant, right? Then that time, they probably got a DNA test, come to find out she was, right? He kidnapped her. She disappeared, could nobody find her, right? Later on down the line in the investigation, that's when they connected Jarvis Butts to her disappearance, right? Through the messages and all that type of shit. So now they lock him up for it, right? For her disappearance. Where is Naziah Harris, right? If y'all know about the situation and everything in the beginning, and I'm saying this now so I can relate this a little later. In the beginning, when he first got locked up, he said, I'm innocent. He said he didn't do it. He don't know what they talking about. He innocent, right? I told y'all how that worked. 9 out of 10 people gonna say that they innocent. Like, you hardly ever get anybody that's gonna stand on their business and say that they did that actual situation, right? So it wasn't no surprise that he was claiming innocent, but he did. He claimed innocent off the rip. Y'all can go check out the history of this whole Jarvis Butts and Naziah Harris situation. You will see when he got locked up, he pled it not guilty, right? Okay. So of course the internet going crazy. Where's Naziah Harris? What you do to her? Blah 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 blah. Whole time he claiming he innocent. He don't know what happened. He not coming off nothing, right? Well, like I said, with the text messaging and all of that, it linked them straight to her. Like, it wasn't no way around it, right? So here it goes. I told y'all how court worked. They bring all the evidence to you, what they got against you and all of that, and then they come at you with a plea deal, right? So they even came at Jarvis with a plea. They like, hey, we got evidence on you. We don't know where her body is, but we know that you got something to do with it. And we know that you was having sex with her and you got her pregnant. You know what I'm saying? This is how the system talking to him. So your best bet is to plead guilty and take this lesser charge. Because if you keep going not guilty, we take you to trial. You lose that trial, you're going to get life in prison, right? So what Jarvis do? He jumped on the deal. So with him jumping on the deal, that's admitting that you did what you did. Whenever you take a plea deal, that means that you admitting to what you did, right? Your involvement in the situation, whatever, you admitting that you had something to do with whatever happened, right? And the plea deal is to keep you from going to trial and doing a whole lot more time in prison. Because at this point, you caught. They got the evidence on you. They showing you, hey, you go to trial, you're going to lose. Because we got evidence on you. So your best bet is take this plea deal, avoid all this shit, go do your time, come on when you come on, right? So they came at him with a plea deal for 30-some years, 30-plus years, right? He took it. He said, all right, big, come on. Yeah, I did it. I'm guilty, whatever, right? So now they get this guilty plea out of him. They probably told him he'd do something shorter than that. They probably told him 20 years, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to the judge. When the judge give you your sentencing, that's the real cook right there. The prosecutors, the attorneys, they can tell you anything. But at the end of the day, it's on what the judge say, right? So anyway, Jarvis take the deal, right? He take the deal. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Y'all know I be blown. Let me bag it up a little bit, right? Not only did they catch him up for this Naziah Harris thing, but he had other victims as well. 4 other victims. 4 other victims. One of them was his own child. Yeah, Jarvis got a daughter himself. His daughter, he gave her a STD. Yeah, his own daughter. Jarvis was sick. He was out of his mind. He was next level. You know what I'm saying? So he had a total of 5 victims. Now I don't know exactly how they tied all that together or whatever, but they bundled all that shit. Boom, you got 5 victims. You gonna lose at trial. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. So with him knowing all of this, he went ahead and pleaded guilty so he wouldn't get life in prison, right? So it wasn't just the Naziah thing, because like I said, they ain't even found her body. You know what I'm saying? But they got the messages with him and her. So they got that much. You know what I'm saying? But in the midst of that, like I said, these other 4 victims popped up. You know what I'm saying? And one of them was his own daughter, and he gave her an STD. So he booked at this point, like, yeah, you better take this plea. You know what I'm saying? You got too much against you. You got to take this plea, right? That's what he did. When you looking at something like that, and you know you guilty, unless they come at you with something like, hey, yeah, we'll let you go right now if you admit to it. If they don't come at you with some shit like that, your best bet is just to go ahead and go to trial. Why you say that, Mr. Roller? Why not save yourself the time, you know what I'm saying, if you can get a good plea deal, blah, blah, blah. Well, for one, you admitting. And I know I'm derailing, but, you know, just let me do my thing. I make everything make sense, right? So when you plead guilty, you admitting that you did it, right? Number 2, when you plead guilty, it's in your paperwork that you pleaded guilty to whatever the case was. So when you go to prison and niggas in prison want to see your paperwork, guess what it's going to say? You pleaded guilty. So that means you did that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now you got them prison problems because you admitted on black and white that you did this. So you can't be in prison telling the guys, no, I ain't do it. Woo, woo, they got the wrong guy. You can't do none of that. Because you admitted on black and white that you did do that. You know what I'm saying? So now your prison problems is going through the roof. Right? Because you admitted it. And you gonna have to come out that paperwork in prison. I don't give a fuck what you talking about, how tough you think you is. You gonna come out that paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will stab you for your paperwork. Straight up. So you gonna come out that paperwork. Right? Okay. Now with that being said, you don't know how much time the judge is going to give you. Just because you admitted it and pled guilty to it, that don't mean that they're going to go light on you. Sometimes they be like, fuck that, still throw the book at you, even after you admitted it. You know what I'm saying? Number 4. The 4th reason why. How many parole reactions I done did and I just showed y'all. I done told y'all about parole before I even got to doing the reactions. Then I got to doing the reactions to actually show y'all. Like, everybody don't come home. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes niggas get flopped like a motherfucker. So, it's multiple reasons why you shouldn't always plead guilty. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a guarantee that it's going to work in your favor. Sometimes that guilty plea is just be a way of them getting you to admit to what you did. And they still smoke your ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't plead guilty, especially to a crime like what he got against 5 kids and one of them being his own child. You know what I'm saying? That's just some shit you don't just plead guilty to. Like, fuck that. Unless they about to let you go right now, you might as well go ahead and go to trial because they gonna smoke you. You got 5 victims, bro. I don't care how guilty you plead, nigga. They gonna blow your fucking head off. And one of the victims is missing. You not about to get off. It's not gonna happen. So my point is that he was better off just taking it to trial and losing that trial and getting life in prison. Why you say that, Mr. Roll Up? They gave him 35 years. They gave him 35 to 60, right? I told y'all about them tails before. What is the tail, Mr. Roll Up? Well, that 60 he got, that 35 to 60, that's his tail. That means he can do anywhere from that 35 up to 60. The 35 is the minimum he got to do. That's the bare minimum. Bare minimum, he got to do 35 years. Then after 35 years, he'll be eligible for parole. So after he do 35 years and he go see the parole board, it's up to the parole board if they want to let him out. And again, y'all done seen enough of my parole reactions. They don't just be letting them out. A lot of their ass get smoked. How about that? And for somebody like Jarvis Butts, again, y'all could just go back and check out the parole reactions. They smoke niggas all the time for way less serious, damn, let me bag it up. Way less violent. Let me put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we know the kid touching thing is like the number one thing you don't do. You know what I'm saying? The public would rather you kill your neighbor, you know what I'm saying, over $5 as opposed to touching somebody's kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like with the kid thing, that's like next level violent type shit, right? Meaning you should never plead guilty to a crime like that, no matter how much evidence they got on you. Because again, it's not a guarantee that that's what you're going to get. That's just what they offering you. You know what I'm saying? They can offer you 5 years and still smoke your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say if they don't come like, hey, yeah, we'll let you out today. If they ain't coming like that and you got a serious ass case like that, your best bet is to go to trial. Because you going to prison either way it go. Again, unless they tell you they're going to let you go right then and there. If it ain't that kind of deal, you might as well go to trial for a case like that, right? So it was just so many red flags with him pleading guilty. But again, this was him trying to run away. Like, okay, if I do this, then I ain't going to do life in prison. Because here's the thing. When you get caught up on a case and you come in, not only the police officers that's there policing you and shit while you going through your case and all that, somebody lemon, that lemon loud as fuck, you know, you need to put a muffler on that motherfucker. But anyway, the inmates and the police in there, they tell you, like, hey, you about to get some time. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. So you know what you looking at. You know what I'm saying? Before you go to trial, before sentencing, all it, you know what you looking at. It's jail politics. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So when he came in there, they was on his head. They was slamming him. Hey, nigga, you about to get the rest of your life. It's over. You not getting out. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you tell them, you're not getting out. You could tell them where her body at. You could tell them how everything happened from start to finish, all of it. You can give them all the details you want. You're not going home. These facts. especially the inmates. Inmates will tell you real quick, you ain't going home. It's over with. They don't even know where this girl body is. What make you think that they gonna let you out and you won't even tell them where her body is? This case is still an ongoing case. Even though he been found convicted and all of that, this is still an ongoing case because she is missing. And it's going to be ongoing until she turned up found. You know what I'm saying? They find her body somewhere or whatever the case is. If some of her remains, anything. If they don't find her, this is still an ongoing case. You know what I'm saying? So what make you think that you taking a plea deal thinking it was going to let you out one day? That don't make sense. They haven't even found her body. Let me give you an example, right? And I'm going to get into that too. But look, like I said, y'all know I derail, I sidebar, all that. I make everything make sense, right? So just to say, even if they did offer him, the 30 years or whatever, like here, 30 years, we'll let you out. And he like, all right, cool, bet. Let's just fast forward the tape, 30 years later. It's time for him to see the parole board, right? You know what they gonna say? They gonna be like, yeah, you did your 30 years and everything, but we haven't found her body. We can't let you out. We haven't found her body. She is a threat to society. You whole life got rid of a whole human being. And it was because she was pregnant by you. They not going to let them out. So, even, like I said, even so, just with him even taking the plea deal, if they don't find her body, he not going to get out anyway. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good chance that they might not find her body. All right, so now let's get into it, right? I had to throw that in there, and I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna finish that. Like y'all know, I put everything together, right? How about that? So when she told him that she was pregnant, he kidnapped her. Whatever he did, he killed her, and he threw her body in the river. This is what he told the investigators. Again, y'all can go back, check out the story or whatever. You think I'm capping or making up some shit. You can go check all this shit out. Just type up Jarvis butts, Naziah ears. It'll pop up. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, after he killed her, he said he threw her body in this river on 7 Mile and Berg Road. Berg, not Berg Road, Berg Road, right? Like right down there by the big ass church. What's that? Greater Grace, you know what I'm saying? Down there by like Telegraph, like 7 Mile and Telegraph, Seven Tail Hood, around that area, right? It's a little river right there. You know what I'm saying? And it go across the passageway up under 7 Mile Road. You know what I'm saying? He said he dumped her body in that river. They sent the divers out there, everything. They didn't find her. Still haven't found her. And probably never will find her. If he threw her body in the river, shit, an alligator, a snake, you know what I'm saying? Enough of them damn piranha fishes, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. There's some shit in that water. Y'all know that. How about that? So, I mean, it could just be, the objects that was in the water. That could have ate her body up. You know what I'm saying? Shredded her up. It ain't no telling. Or he could be lying about where he dumped her body at. It could be somewhere else. He probably just didn't want to tell them where her body is. Because if they would have found her body, of course they got to do an autopsy on it, right? Meaning they gonna bring up every single thing that was done to her and all of that. It ain't no telling how much more shit he did to her. And he probably didn't want all of that to surface through an autopsy. So he probably lied about where he dumped her body at. But this is what he told the investigators. He dumped her body in that little river. So for y'all Detroit natives that know, y'all know that little river I'm talking about, right there off of 7 Mile and Berg Road. You know what I'm saying? It's a little river right there in between Berg and the damn church. It's a little river right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jarvis Butt said he dumped her body in there. You know. So if anything, nature probably got her body. So what would make you think that they'll let you out when they haven't even found her body? That's not gonna happen anyway. And he know that. Again, this jail politics. Niggas was in there telling them that. Like, bro, they haven't even found her body. You never getting out. You know what I'm saying? Flat out. So he knew this. So I don't understand why he took a guilty plea, but that's what he did, right? So he took the guilty plea. They sentenced him 35 to 60 years in prison for this, right? All right. Now he go to meat and potatoes, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? How about that? He did this here in Detroit. So of course he going to a Michigan prison system, right? And I just spoke on this before about Jackson quarantine. If you in Michigan, you commit a crime here, you going to Jackson quarantine, right? You're going to be in Jackson quarantine for about 30 days. It's until they find, a prison with bed space for you, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? However they got their system all organized, that's what it is. Now, you got guys that been in quarantine for only 2 weeks, and then they got sent to a prison. And then you got guys in quarantine that been there for 3 months and still haven't got sent to a prison. But the median of it is about 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So for like the average prisoner, they be there about 30 days, Immediately after you get sentenced, and I can speak on this because I went to prison. I've been there. And this is why I'm speaking on this situation, right? This is the only reason why I'm speaking on this. All of that I said the past 25 plus minutes, yeah, I had broke everything down so y'all understand why everything happened the way it did. But this right here, this is why I'm doing this video. This right here, right? The judge sends you today, you ride out tomorrow morning. Instantly. You gone. You go straight to Jackson quarantine, which is in Jackson, Michigan. This the Michigan map. Jackson sit like right in the middle of that motherfucker. Yeah, my hands ashy. I'm a man. Fuck y'all. How about that? Nah. You automatically go to Jackson, right? I done broke all this shit down. Prison lineup 101. Go check it out. I broke all this shit down. I went live about it, all that. I done broke all this shit down. So what I'm saying ain't nothing new, right? When you go to Jackson, what it is, it's a wall. The wall go up high as hell, up to the damn sky. High as wall, right? With this wall is cells. On this whole wall is cells. All lined up next to each other. Individual cells. You know what I'm saying? One man cells. Cell big, only big enough for you to walk in and out that bitch. You can get a couple of push-ups, a couple of sit-ups. That's all. That's the only space you get in this cell, right? That's how small these cells is, and they lined up right next to each other on this whole wall, right? All the way up, shit, maybe like 10 tiers, right? 10, just say 10 tiers going up, 10 cells going across. So you roughly got about 100 inmates in this building. That's just a wall. you know what I'm saying, and the space for their bed to be in there and them to walk in and walk out. That's how big these cells is. You spend 23 hours of your day in that cell. You only come out 1 hour a day, right? This is quarantine. But the deal about quarantine is they got programs and shit in there. They want you to watch videos and, like they training you to get ready for prison. So your time kind of go fast in there, but then it don't. You know what I'm saying? Because you be getting called out. You got to go to the school building, blah, 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 right? But other than that, you're sitting in that cell. The only thing that you see in this cell is the 3 cement walls to your left, to your right, behind you. And immediately in front of you is the cell bars, right? On the other side of the cell bars is the front side of the prison building, right? That ain't nothing but glass. Like, it's all glass with like tint on it. So you can't even see out that motherfucker. So really you just like staring off into a wall. Just a tent. That's all you see. No TV, no MP3 players, no CD changers, no none of that shit. It's just you in that cell 23 hours a day. With all these other inmates next to you, a tier ahead, a tier on top of you, some tiers down below you. You know what I'm saying? All you hear is a bunch of guys talking. Talk the whole night. Motherfuckers farting, all type of shit, toilet flushing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you hear all these shit all day long. And it's just y'all in this big ass wall. You know what I'm saying? That's just a cell for each individual, right? So y'all don't see each other. Y'all just hear each other. So everybody just hollering and talking. Imagine 100 inmates all in one building, you know what I'm saying, in different cells. You can't see shit. You just hear everybody talking. It's like for that 1 hour a day that you come out, you get acquainted with all these guys that you locked in the prison with for the 23 hours out of the day. Now you get to see their face. So now you matching voices, with faces and things like that. So then when you go lock back down in your cell, now you know who talking to who's saying what. You know what I'm saying? Because now you match that voice with that face. So now you know who said this, who that, blah, blah, blah. This is quarantine politics, right? With that being said, that's where Jarvis went. To Jackson Quarantine, which every inmate that gets sentenced to a Michigan Department of Correction, MDOC, you going to Jackson. Flat out. Ain't no way around it. You're going to Jackson, right? So they rolled him out the next day, sent him straight to Jackson, right? Do you know all them guys in there know what he in there for? They seen that shit on TV. You know what I'm saying? They done heard about it, all that, before they even went to Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So it's people in there that know who this Jarvis Butts guy is. And they in there telling them, like, hey, you know they about to get you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, they about to deal with you. Straight up. Like, yeah. So that 1 hour a day that you get to come out, and them 3 times you go to the chow hall to eat, they matching his voice with his face. And the people that is coming in that see him like, hold on, that's dog. Now everybody on the yard know, oh, you Jarvis, you the one, right? So everybody matched his voice with his face. That's him. So when y'all lock down them other 23 hours, do you know what's going on? They in there hollering at Jarvis the whole time. Bitch, we gonna kill you. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. We can't wait till we get out of quarantine. Nigga, whatever prison you go to, we on your ass. Woo, 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 woo. Can you imagine Jarvis hearing that all day, every day? 23 hours a day. He is hearing this 23 hours a day. And he know after they find him a prison and they ship him from Jackson to whatever prison he go to, he going straight to a level 4. See, here in Michigan, when you got anything past 8 years, you automatically go to a level 4, right? Level 4 is maximum security. 23-hour lockdown, just like quarantine, same shit. You just went from Jackson quarantine to another Jackson quarantine. And you got to do so much time in that level 4 before they bring your level down. You know what I'm saying? I think you got to do like at least 4 or 5 years at level 4 before they drop your level down. Now, we don't have a level 3, right? They obliterated level 3. I don't know why they did, right? So it's level 4. Actually, it is level 5. Yeah, my bad. Actually, it's level 5. Level 5 is like the mental motherfuckers, the real crazy motherfuckers. They level 5. They don't wash their heads, brush their teeth, nothing. You know what I'm saying? They highlight for real, right? Then you got level 4, like all the violent motherfuckers. They got a bunch of time and all that shit. They in level 4, where they lock down 23 hours a day, But the difference is the prison. The difference between quarantine and prison is quarantine, you in a cell by yourself. When you go to prison, you in a cell with another inmate. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever level you in, you gonna have a bunkie. You know what I'm saying? So of course they telling him like, hey, as soon as you get to the joint, your bunkie gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? And when you gotta come out for that hour to take a shower, jump on the phone, whatever, niggas gonna get you then. You know what I'm saying? Like, they hollering and shouting this shit to Jarvis all day long in that damn wall. 99 inmates is hollering and screaming at Jarvis the whole 23 hours. Niggas got ops in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And they attention ain't even on they ops nothing at this point. They attention is on Jarvis. Jarvis is the talk of the town everywhere. Everybody know this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, me getting that, I was there and I know how that shit operate. And come to find out, he only been there 2 weeks. Quarantine. Jackson quarantine. He only been there 2 weeks. And he killed himself. Jarvis here, damn. Jarvis Butts is dead now. They found him dead in his cell. He only been in Jackson quarantine for 2 weeks. And they found him dead in his cell. Suicide. That's what they ruling it right now. Suicide, right? A lot of people saying, nah, they killed them and they try and cover it up, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe it. I truly 100% believe that he did kill himself. And it was because of everything I just explained. Like, he in there going through it. You know what I'm saying? And he know when he get to that level 4, they gonna get on his ass. And the way how Michigan prisons work with the COs and shit, they be cool with a lot of the inmates. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of them got time in with these inmates. Like, they really know them and shit, So, sometimes these COs, they intentionally let niggas know. Like, hey, you remember that situation with dog, Jarvis Buzz, woo woo? The inmates be like, yeah. The damn CO will tell them, like, yeah, we about to bring him in tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? He about to be in cell C4. You know what I'm saying? We about to put him in there tomorrow. What? Straight up. Yeah, it go down like that. You know what I'm saying? So he know that whatever yard he hit, wherever he go, they gonna get his ass. And not only the yard gonna get him, his own bunkie gonna get him. Like, ain't nobody fucking with him. It's over. Straight up. And he knew that. So he had to take himself out before he even got to that level 4. Because if he would have made it to level 4, it would have been over with. You know what I'm saying? His bunkie would have took his ass out before he would have got to do it himself. You know. But yeah, I truly believe that, Jarvis Butts did, he did commit suicide. And like I said, it's because I've been there. I know how Jackson quarantine worked. And I'm telling you, all of them inmates in there was bashing his ass the whole time. Like, nigga, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Even after everybody finally go to sleep, which would be like 3 in the morning. You could still believe it was niggas up 3 in the morning. Fuck you, nigga. Woo, woo. Yeah, I can't wait. Nigga, they gonna send me to the same, I'm gonna be at the same prison with you. We gonna get you. Woo. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hearing all of this shit all day long. Even if you don't want to come out and take a shower, because sometimes you got niggas that do shit like that. They don't take a shower. They don't come out use the phone. They don't come out to walk the yard. For that hour that you get out, they don't do none of that. They just stay in their cell. You know what I'm saying? So they be on 24-hour lockdown. Like, some motherfuckers like that, But for that 1 hour, when they break them bars, yeah, the inmates walking past his cell, talking crazy to him. Yeah, nigga, we gonna get you. See, in quarantine, it ain't that simple and easy to get a nigga in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, the security is real tight. And like I said, you go from that hole in the wall to the school building. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And you get that 1 hour a yard. That's it. Other than that, you in the wall. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And that 1 hour you get out, yes, them COs, they watching all you niggas. They not playing. You ain't doing shit for this 1 hour you get. You better be lucky you getting this 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's straight belt ass. You try some shit in Jackson quarantine because the security way too tight. But by the time he get to an actual prison, yeah, they gonna have time to get him. Because when he go to a prison, he can't deny taking the shower. He gonna have to take a shower. You know what I'm saying? His bunkie gonna be like, nah, nigga, fuck that. Your ass need to go hop in the shower. You stink, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to take a shower. He gonna have to come out the cell. So they telling them like, hey, even if you don't do nothing, you gotta take a shower. Nigga, as soon as you come out, we gonna get you in the shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, yeah, he heard it all. They gonna stab him to death. You know what I'm saying? They gonna cut his head off. He heard it all within 2 weeks. And he said, nah, I can't do it. Took yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. How he took himself out, Mr. Roll-Up. I can tell you like this. He probably hung himself because, they not saying, what actually happened. They just saying it was by suicide. So if you ask me, you don't get much in there. So it wasn't like he had some shit, Yeah, I think it was one or two things. I think it was either he hung himself with the cover sheet that you get. You get your sheet of covers, to sleep with, whatever. I believe that he tied that sheet around the cell bar, tied the other end around his neck, some shit like that. A lot of guys commit suicide in prison like that. You know what I'm saying? They use that same cover they pull up to sleep with to take them out the game, Crazy. Make your bed, you lay in it, literally, So, I believe it was either that or he probably bumped into somebody in there that gave him, like, some meds that probably was too strong for him, some medication, some strong-ass shit. They got some shit in there called, Hell Dog or some shit like that. that shit's supposed to be like some of the most powerful shit in there. You know what I'm saying? If you not prescribed that shit and you take it, like that shit can kill you. You know, so who knows? It could have been some meds that he took, you know, to kill himself on purpose, or he hung himself. Them the two options I'm going with. But yeah, man, he hung himself because he knew he wasn't gonna make it in the joint. You know what I'm saying? It's over with. Nah, nigga. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And if they put you in a cell with a gorilla, nigga, it's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying? You better hope that you get a good bunkie, because, and 9 times out of 10, like I said, the way how these COs work here, they'll put you in the cell with a gorilla and let all the gorillas know, hey, y'all, he coming tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So he knew what was ahead of him. And that's why he ain't go for it. He was like, y'all, take myself out right now before I even go to a prison and they get him. You know what I'm saying? He went ahead off this. So best thing he could have did, because they for sure would have got him, you know. And like I said, this is why I spoke on it, because I've been to Jackson quarantine. So I know exactly what they was on in there. You know what I'm saying? And basically, they mauled him by voice. You know what I'm saying? Made him take his own damn self out. Straight up. I can guarantee you all the inmates in there right now is laughing and joking about this shit. Like, man, we got that nigga to kill himself. Nigga, we was on his ass. Nigga, we ain't even had to do nothing to him. That nigga killed his own damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet you that's how they in there politicking right now. But we'll never know that, because we ain't in the war. And that's why I did this video. Because I was in that war. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly how that shit go. And I guarantee you, if it do surface, I guarantee you that's what it's going to come out to be. Was the inmates was in there on his ass so hard, he had to take himself up out of there, because he wasn't ready for what was coming ahead of him. How about that? It's been another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunt rolled and your drink poured.